Hey guys, so we're doing an Eternal draft. Set 2 has just come out, so I've previously done 2 drafts, so we'll be learning this together. I'm probably going to make a lot of mistakes. Let's see what's in this pack. Okay. So the card that immediately jumps out at me here is Shadowlands Bone Picker. So this seems like a really powerful effect. You can pay 5 to give it +2/+1. You can do that as many times as you want, so it's not an ultimate ability. So this is just a great mana sink late game. And a 3 mana 3/3 is also pretty decent on rate. I've been pretty impressed with Savage Stranger actually. Normally these effects aren't great because they buff your opponent's strangers, but this card has just really impressed me, especially with some of the ways that you can make your creatures unblockable, or if you end up in Feln giving them flying for a turn, this thing can just sit on the board, get huge, and then deal a bunch of damage. Dragon Breath is another standout card in this pack, but I think Shadowlands Bone Picker is powerful enough to be the first pick here, even though it puts us in 2 colors. Okay, so what do we got here? Ooh, Blister Sting Wasp seems like a really powerful card. It's in the same color combo as our Shadowlands Bone Picker. So it's flying and deadly. It's a 1/3, so you can just sit there, you just eat all their just random 2/2s and strangers that they play. Extract has been just an incredibly impressive card as well. So you get to deal 3 damage, look at the top card of your deck and put it on the bottom if you choose, and you gain 3 life when you play it as well. So it's a really great enabler. Excellent removal spell. I haven't had a chance to play with the Wasp yet, and it can be really risky to just take gold cards early, because you might not end up playing both of these colors. One of them might be cut off. But let's see how this card is. Oh, this seems like an interesting build around that's probably not good enough in draft. You just don't end up with enough spells to consistently make dragons, so I don't think that's a great card. Jack's Knife is interesting. The obvious sort of combo with this is, because the wielder deals 2 damage to you, I think if you put it on something with lifesteal, you don't actually get this drawback. Snapping Brushstalker seems like an impressive card to me. So it's a 5/4. When an enemy spell is played, you put it back into your hand, so it can sort of get tempoed out, but it's powerful because it dodges all of your opponent's removal. Also in Constructed, I guess it dodges cards like Harsh Rule. Let's pick that up. Cool, alright. Wow, so many Dragon's Breaths going past. Alright, so what are we thinking here? Cult Aspirant is interesting. We're in the color combination that wants to be gaining life, but I don't think that's sort of powerful enough. I think we just go all in on Zenon. We just pick this Cupbearer. I think this is a great card. It saves you a lot of life, gives you a lot of time. If you want to do some nonsense in the late game, which hopefully we'll be able to get some cards that do nonsense. Gives us time to get our Bone Picker down and buff it up. 4/4 for 4 is pretty good on rate. My only concern is we're already picking up a lot of 4-drops. What else is there? I don't think we ever want to be playing this. I don't think any of the cards here are that powerful. It's maybe worth picking up a banner for if we want to splash. A lot of these decks often end up being 3 colors. But I think we're just going to take the Arachnodon for now. A lot of these cards aren't very impressive. Ring is probably just a bit too expensive. I've tried playing with this once before when I had a bunch of Life Force cards, and it just wasn't the payoff I was looking for. Sorry, the enabler I was looking for. Shield Bash seemed interesting. We're not in that color combination. Honestly, at this point, I'm leaning towards just picking this Praxis Stranger. Gives us a 2-drop, gives us a bit of fixing if we do decide to play some red cards. Let's take that. Ooh, Mortar seems like a powerful card. Hip Shot seems like it's pretty decent because you can play it off the top of your deck. Pack Hunt. Units get +2/+2. It doesn't really look like we'll be going wide, so I don't think that's the pick. Sorrow Shroud. It's a way to gain life. It's an okay weapon. I'm not too impressed with Skeeter. I just don't think this is a great card. Maybe I'm wrong though. But let's take the Shroud. I do not really like Envelop. Unless you're trying to tempo out your opponents. I'm not super impressed by this card. I've had it played against me a couple of times, and I was pretty happy with it most of the time because we weren't really in a racing situation. So it just set me back a turn, but it set them back a card. Just gonna pick another Stranger. I'll probably pick another Zenon Cupbearer. Bloodcall Invocation is an interesting card. You get to basically make a creature equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. But my sort of concern with it is if you're paying 2 mana, how much mana are you really spending on a card that's gaining you a bunch of life? You're probably not gaining too much life unless you're playing a dedicated life gain card, which probably isn't worth a card unless you're comboing it with something like Bloodcall Invocation. So I'm a bit skeptical of that strategy, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. Let's just take this. Jeez. Okay. Behemoth is an interesting card, a decent way to gain life. Oh yeah, this is pretty good. So here I think we're definitely just going to snatch up this Ageless Mentor. We've already got a bunch of 4-drops, and this synergizes quite well with them. This was one of my favourite cards in set 1. I think it's very powerful. So let's pick that up. Bit of a weak pack for us. So we have a couple of options here. I'm not super thrilled with them though. Basically, we can pick up a Stranger, a Thorn Beast, which I think has gotten a bit worse in set 2 because there are less creatures you can sacrifice for value. I don't think Cultist is what we want to be doing. And we could always take Desert Marshal because we're in one of the colours, and we've got the Horary Stranger that might let us splash. Let's take the Thorn Beast. I think that's the safest pick. Let's grab another Stranger. Oof. Feeding Time. I love that card. Nesting Aviasaur. Maybe we want to try to pivot our splash. I think a lot of decks in this format do end up being 3-color. Alright, what are we giving up on? We're not really giving up on anything by picking Feeding Time. So let's do that. Yeah, perfect. We'll definitely pick up Amber Acolyte here. It's going to fix our mana. It's going to let us curve a little higher if that's what we want to do. We'll take Cobalt Acolyte. I'm really impressed with that card. I think Dark Return is an excellent card. I think now that the format's slowed down a little bit as well, that it's actually a little bit better. Oh, how greedy do we want to get with potential splashes? That's the question. Do we have any weapons we care about? We don't. I'll just grab another Stranger. Oof, Static Bolt. Another card that's gotten worse because you don't have 4 packs to pick them up anymore, but I was always quite impressed with that card. interesting. This card actually seems pretty good, Vara's Choice. It's now primary color combo. Cat Burglar is also a card that looks pretty powerful to me. It's probably less powerful in draft. But depending on the constructed metagame, I could see this being very good. It's just a straight up 2-for-1. You get information on what's in their hand as long as you can get rid of a relic. So I think that's pretty powerful. Whether these cards are better than Extract, though, is a question I don't know the answer to. But there's a lot in this pack we'd happily pick up. Sand Viper is good. I like Fixing. I wouldn't take it over any of these cards, though. Honestly, I've been very impressed with Extract, so let's see how that goes. Maelstrom Bell. No, I'm not interested in doing that, I don't think. What does this guy do? Deal damage to the enemy player equal to the amount of life you've gained this turn. I don't think we've got any life gain, do we? We've got Extract. Shroud if our creature dies. I've been pretty impressed with Archive Curator. Having a 1/4 flyer is a very good blocker, and being able to silence is huge, so just having that tacked onto a card is excellent. I think that's also quite good with our Ageless Mentor, although that combo is probably not going to come up super often. I think it's still a good enough reason to pick this card, and it allows us to curve a little bit higher. Not seeing anything too great for us. Probably just going to take another Curator. Maybe I'm rating this card a little too high, but it's been impressive so far. Okay, Blood Call Invoker actually seems like quite a good payoff for life gain. So it's not that good by itself. But maybe we could chuck it in and grab some incidental life gain. Alright, so we got some rings in this pack. We got another Extract. I just don't really think we can pass this card. This seems like it might be the best Shadow common in set 2. Nothing here is particularly impressive or looks like a great fit for our deck. I might take Spur On as a potential way to end the game, and hopefully we don't actually end up running it. Oh, okay, Minotaur Lighthoof. This is a card that I've actually been quite impressed by. Just being able to chip in those extra few points of damage has been very powerful. So I'm going to pick that up. That being said, we are a bit light on 2s. We always have these random strangers we can throw in. But Sand Viper has been quite impressive as well. Zenon Banner, Archive Curators here as well. So I feel like we got lucky because we first picked the Bone Picker and we went pretty all in on Zenon, but it looks to at least be open in this direction. Cabal Rogue, that's an interesting card. Not quite sure how to rate that. I guess a use I hadn't considered for Envelop is that any weapons that are on a creature just sort of fall off. I don't think we're playing this 7-drop, so I'm going to take Envelop. Icebow seems like a reasonable card. We're already looking to splash Primal, and if we end up with something that's got a really nice Infiltrate trigger, we might end up playing that. The end of this pack's not going as well for us as the beginning did. Just going to grab another creature. I don't think we want to play multiple Shrouds. Okay. So I think the best card here is probably Ice Sprite. How's our fixing actually looking for that combo? Not fantastic, but let's pick it up. See how we go. Again, this isn't a thrilling pack. So, as you can see, if you have a look at all the cards in this pack, there isn't a time card. Basically, the way Eternal Drafts work, every faction is represented in every pack. So, because a time card is missing, that means the person passing to us has taken a time card. So that's disappointing because we're not likely to just be fed both of our primary colors in this pack. Yeah, none of these cards are great for us. I don't think we're ever playing Sabotage. We've got enough strangers that sort of half fix us, so I don't think we want another one of those. We might end up with the Savant. Maybe as a top end flyer way to finish the game we can splash. Hopefully it doesn't come to that point. Okay, so no time cards again. I don't think Devour is great in our deck. And now that we've started picking up more primal cards, I think we just want to take Feln Banner. Make our mana base a little bit more solid. Ooh. A premium Flame Blast, that looks sweet. Now that we've picked up a couple of different life gain payoffs, and because we are lacking in the early drop department, I'm interested to try Sanctuary Priest in this archetype. Previously it was sort of an unplayable card, but now it might actually be a reasonable enabler. I'm not over the moon to be playing it, but we'll see how it works. So now we have an interesting choice. We can take Fnatic and make our mana base a lot worse. Probably play Fnatic and play Cobalt Acolyte. Or we can take a 2-3 for 2, which is just going to give us time to start developing our board. Let's just take this 2-3. Let's not be greedy. Oh, alright. This Sapphire Dragon, well, that's pretty appealing, but there's no way we can splash a double cost card. I think we just take the Stranger. Guess we'll take Refresh, not play it. Yeah, this last pack has been a train wreck for us. Maybe we should have picked up on the signals in pack 2 and we missed something. But this is not where we want to be. Alright, so we basically got 2 playables in that last pack. So we're going to have to move into a 3-color deck, which is unfortunate. Let's play this big guy. We want Ice Sprite. We probably want Lightning Strike. Cobalt Acolyte is good. Good way to end the game. Alright. So we'll add a Stranger. It sort of half fixes us. So I'm thinking, yeah, this is probably going to be an 18 land deck. So part of the rationale for that is we're playing multiple colors, so we're going to need to hit our threshold requirements. So having more sigils to let us do that is helpful. We also have a reasonable curve. We've got this Behemoth on the top end. So looking at this deck, it's going to be tough for us to win, I think, but we'll see how it goes. That's some power. One, two, three, four primal cards. Yeah. Yeah, okay, let's give it a try. Alright. So, we have our first opponent. Okay, so this hand isn't fantastic, but it's functional as long as our opponent's not on an aggressive deck. Extract is going to help us catch up. Okay, we don't actually have that many 2-drops, so... Oh, look at this. All these colors. Oh, okay, that's threatening. Okay, so we definitely need a way to catch up here. So, as much as I would love to grab a primal sigil, we're pretty priced into getting a shadow sigil because we have double extract in hand. Alright, no blocks. And I think here we're probably just going to Thorn Beast down our 2-1. The fact that they didn't actually have a powerful follow-up play is good for us. This Stranger's also going to give us our Primal Sigil. So, I guess the only other consideration is, do we want to Dark Return our 2-1? And I don't think we do. I think we want to save that for our Thorn Beast, because we're hoping to trade off. Alright. We just have to make this trade. If they've got a trick, they've got a trick. We can Dark Return and replay it, and then they'll have to have another trick. So ultimately, I think that's okay. Do we want to kill the guy? No, I think we just want to start getting in. Let's replay our Thorn Beast. We can punish their stumble on lands here. Let's attack. Okay, let's kill this. Now that they've got a way to make it bigger. Do we want another sigil? So what are we doing next turn if we draw a sigil? I don't think we need a sigil right now. We're gonna put that on the bottom. We're playing 18 lands. It's really bad for us if we put the sigil on top and then we draw another sigil. Okay. Oh, that's powerful. That's frightening. So they're probably not going to want to trade. So I'm going to attack. If they trade, it's fine, because this thing's just going to run us over. So we're going to play a 2-2, and we're going to hold up Lightning Strike. So the reason we're doing that is we're encouraging them to attack on this board, and we really want to clear this 6-4 if we can. Oh no, okay. Okay, so they're electing to play around it, which is honestly quite a good play. Are we happy trading for this Umbran Reaper and 1-2? I think we are. Okay, so they look to chump block. I think we just play Ageless Mentor here. I think that gives us the best shot of winning. We get to buff 3 creatures. They still don't have a favourable block. So we've sort of been punished for bottoming that land. But I think it's probably okay. Oh, no. So young. So, what are our options here? So I think we're going to attack for 4 and play this 5/7. I have to trade their 6/4 if they want to get it off the table. Great. Let's go ahead and play this. Make it 5/5. Oh, man. This has been an interesting game. We've definitely had some options to play it differently. Okay, so what happens if we just attack with everything here? What happens? So I can double block this. He takes a lot of damage. Let's play a land. Let's do it. Cool. Okay. So now we're gonna extract this. Oh, 6. I think we can bottom that. And then we're gonna pass with this lightning strike up. We've got him on the ropes, so let's get in with everything. Okay, this block kills them. So, well played. Alright. That was an interesting game. I think, yeah. I think Sunnyvale might be a streamer, actually. I think I've checked him out before. Good content. Alright, this is not a functional hand, so we're going to throw that away. Alright. Yeah. This hand could be better. It could be worse. We had a couple of outs. If we'd drawn this Archive Curator, we would have been able to deal with the Umbra and Reaper. He played around Lightning Strike quite well. Probably should have made that extract play a little bit sooner. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to attack for 2. Yeah. And then we're going to get a Shadow Sigil. I'm pretty happy trading off my 2-1 for a 2-2 here. We'll see what happens though. Sure. Okay. So I'm going to attack for 2. Pretty happy to trade with either of these. Sure. Makes it more likely that my 2-3 can start getting in. I'm just going to silence this now. If it becomes a 3-3, it's just a bit annoying for me to have to deal with. I don't really want to play the Bone Picker quite yet. So what could this be? This could be a Lightning Strike. This could be a Storm Lynx. This could be any of the new tricks I don't actually know. But they're probably going to get value out of those at any point, and if they don't have anything, it's just much better for us if we start getting in. Alright, let's play this Bone Picker. Alright, it looks like our opponent might be Sigil screwed. Or they might just be curving a little bit higher. Okay. So, the question is, do we just buff our Bone Picker this turn? And then not attack? Our other option is, we can attack with the 1-4, and then we can extract their 4-4 if they block. And then we get to put this on something. Okay, let's attack with the 1-4 and see what happens. Okay. So now we'll buff the Bone Picker and pass the turn. Just makes our decision a lot easier, and we get a free point of damage. Okay. Honestly, this attack is somewhat suspicious, somewhat aggressive. They likely have a big follow-up play to be making a move like this. Okay, Nesting Aviasaur. Not as threatening as I may have suspected. Oh yeah, Dark Return's a good draw. So, how big is that going to be? So it's going to be a 7-5. We're just going to attack. If they double block, we're just going to Dark Return it. Alright. And if they don't double block, we're in great shape, so. The fact that they took 7 there is pretty good for us. This Bone Pick has been very impressive. Okay, execute, sure. So this turn I feel pretty comfortable just setting up. I want to kill this Storm Dancer because it's killing me. Bring back this Bone Picker, which is now an 8-6. Yeah, the Dark Return Bone Picker synergy is just insane. Next turn we'll likely extract the 3-3 and play Bone Picker. I'm always going to make this block. This attack just doesn't really make sense. If they had a combat trick, they would likely attack with their 2-2s as well. Okay, there's a pretty big pause here, so they clearly do have a trick. What could this be? Oh, Chemical Blast. I'll take that. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely killing that Bone Picker. That's great for us. Yeah, let's just put that on the top. Let's play our own Bone Picker and pass the turn back. Okay. So not electing to hold back all three of their creatures to block Bone Picker. Instead, it looks like they're going to try to race. So, what punishes us? Scorpion Wasp, Lightning Strike. Alright, I'm just going to attack. We've got a pretty good follow-up. They're trying to race us, but we have this Xenon Cupbearer, which is going to make that plan a lot less effective from them. We just have a lot of life gain in this deck. Honestly, if they'd held back all three creatures and tried to block, I would have just played Sorrow's Shroud. Okay, interesting. So they're definitely all in on this race plan. Alright, let's buff this bad boy up. Attack for 10. So we're going to gain a life. And we're going to throw it back to them. Honestly, if they find a way to kill this Bone Picker, we're in trouble. I'm surprised they didn't silence it. Okay. So now we get to attack with all of our creatures. They have a force block on the Bone Picker and we get to deal 5 damage. We're going to gain 6 life, and that should be the game. Barring a harsh roll, I think we're in a really good spot. Alright, well played. Yeah, so Bone Picker is just a fantastic card. I think our opponent needed to try to trade off multiple creatures for it sooner. We had a couple of ways to punish those lines, but we just had so much life gain that they were never going to win a race. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this this new set so far. Okay, alright, we're going to throw this one back. While Bloodcall Invoker is very good, I don't think it's good enough. Okay. So the thing I like to do with my sigils is, and this might have changed with the new set, I'm not exactly sure on all the fast spells, but I really like to, if I have a combat trick that I don't intend to use on turn 1 or 2, trying to play my sigils in such a way that I can conceal that information. Alright. I think it's reasonable. I think we're probably going to cloak this up at some point to get it past a 2 or 3 drop maybe. So doing it now is probably reasonable. I feel like Dark Return got better. It was always good, but I don't know. The set sort of slowing down a little bit has just meant it's a lot easier to get value out of it. Okay. So I can't kill that. I don't really want to silence that. I could silence it and then kill it. I could silence it and then threaten to have the double block. Okay. Ah, no! No! It's so good. I love the Invoker. Please. Please no. Alright. So, this is just a 3-5 now. I think I'm just going to Ice Sprite down this 5-4. Get in for 1. Honestly, it might have been worth offering the trade with the 3-4. If they kill the Sprite, I'm just probably going to Dark Return it back. If they silence the Sprite, though, that's a lot worse. Alright. Okay. Definitely going to block there. Stranger isn't exactly what I was after. Just going to play this 2-2, and then I'm just going to pass back. This gives us a good block of 2-2 and 1-4 on 4-3. Okay. Looks like they're just going to pass it on back to us. So we're going to play our 3-5 for 5, which isn't a fantastic deal. Man, Loom Defender seems sweet now as well. I mean, it was always sweet, but now it's just better. Alright. How are we going to win this game? That is a concern right now. Okay, so they're probably silencing our flyers, so they can start getting in for 1. Yeah. Joke's on you, buddy. Alright, so our opponent values silence effects quite highly, as we've now been silenced 3 times. Oh, that's a punish. So part of the way to play around that would have been to just give our 1-4 flying again. And that was probably better. I think our opponent had decent attacks there and maybe should have thought about it for a little bit longer. We're just going to play this guy again. It's now 4-6. Yeah, these walls are just going to be very difficult for me to punch through. Okay. I'm not sold on this card. But I could be wrong. It could be good. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get in for 4. I'm playing a huge blocker, gaining a bunch of life. So I feel pretty comfortable getting in. Yeah. Should probably get in for 1. They do. Ooh. Thorn Beast isn't a bad draw. It lets us get rid of one of these dead cards. Probably this 1-2. Which is not going to be super effective at blocking anything. Okay. Well, we found something to feeding time. Yeah, honestly, we probably should have just attacked first, but hopefully that's fine. Alright, I don't think we have any way to, yeah, I don't think we have any way to discard lands profitably. We don't have Pillar of Amar or anything like that, so I think if we get more sigils, we're probably just going to play them. And then maybe we'll be able to activate our Bone Picker twice in a turn. We're just going to wait until we draw a second sigil, though. There's no point just slamming this now. We don't have any card draw. Alright. So... we're just going to double block like this. This way we gain 2 life as well. Yeah. And they might do that because they have a life gain. Okay. Honestly, I'm somewhat surprised that your new units get +2. Sure. Play Bone Picker, I'm going to buff it up. That's somewhat frustrating because it blunts our offense. Quite effectively as well, because even if we can deal with one of the flyers, they still have another flyer left over. Alright, let's just go ham on this Bone Picker. Which would be much more effective if they didn't have a deadly unit in play. Okay. Honestly, that's fine. I think they probably could have found a better use for that card. Okay, so our out now is we're going to buff this until it's big enough to kill them in one shot. Oh, that's pretty good. So yeah, we're going to buff this until it's big enough to kill them in one shot, and then we are going to give it unblockable with our Minotaur. And hope that that's an effective path to victory. So I'm scared to attack with it in case they have execute. Okay, they have another deadly unit. Honestly, I think it's pretty worth just silencing this. Use some abilities. Oops. So I'm really hoping they don't have envelop. We've used our dark return, so we've really only got one shot. Okay, does that do anything? Let's definitely kill this. On top. Buff, buff. No! It was so close. That was our window. Alright. That's really unfortunate. Alright. Who's milling out first? They are. Okay, that's our new way to win. Oh, an echo card. Because that might be daggers? Okay. This is active. Let's just kill this. We're going to bottom that. We want to keep our sigils in our deck so that we don't mill out before our opponent. Maybe our line with this Bone Picker was a little conservative. Okay, so they can start attacking us with flyers now. So we are to block here and see what happens. Oh, I'm just going to lightning strike this, honestly. I don't think there's any reason to take extra damage and let them gain extra life. Alright, so this effectively blunts their assault as well. Sure. So we have one power remaining in our deck. Okay, daggers. Okay, so we're just not going to play that. We'll just play this. Honestly, we're going to gain a life. I don't think this game is going to come down to one life, but I don't really want to lose by one. That'd just be embarrassing. Yeah, just in time. Perfect draw. Are we at the unit cap? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are. So we're going to attack for 2. Yeah. I'm going to play 4, 6. And I'm going to pass. Just going to attack for 4. Gain that life, and then play a 2-3 without losing a unit. Sure. Play Bold Adventurer. And that's game. I'm surprised how many games I win just by my opponent milling out. It's a legitimate strategy if you end up in a big board store to just try to run them out of cards. I'm disappointed that we didn't get our sweet bone picker unblockable kill, but I can live with it. I'm also loving how many people seem to be drafting at the moment. Previously, the queues were taking quite a while right before set 2, but everyone's back. This is almost a functional hand. Maybe we can keep this. So we have a guaranteed 2-drop, then we have a 3-drop, which is hitting 2 creatures. Yeah, let's try it. We have a bit of time with the stranger being able to block. That being said, if there's something like an aggressive Stone Scar deck, we will regret this hand if we stumble on power. But if we hit our power, this hand is probably great against them. This 1-3 Wasp seems like a real pain. Normally 1-3s can be annoying for that sort of deck, so giving it Death Touch is... Oh god, alright. Shadow Sigil. Never didn't have it. Alright, so that was an excellent draw. That was exactly what we're looking for. They are an aggressive Stone Sky deck. Let's see what they play. Lethrai Ranger. It's quite hard to deal with. So playing the Wasp and letting them remove it is a bit of a concern. I'm just going to play the Stranger and just try to trade off with this Lethrai Ranger. Or a great follow-up for them is something like the Acolyte. the, yeah, the 2/1. It gives -1/-1 to one of my creatures. Alright, so instead we get punished for not playing the Wasp. And at this point we're just setting up for Ageless Mentor. We're just going to slam some Cupbearers and hopefully gain more life than they can deal with. So we're taking a big hit. Alright. But let's do this. Hopefully they don't have a way to punch through this with their Xenon Destroyer. Rapid Shot is very bad for us. That's really hard for us to recover from. Okay, we're definitely going to block this 4/4. Nice. Alright. Cool. So we're going to gain 8 this turn. That's fantastic. Then we're just going to slam another one. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Don't blame him. It's pretty sick that we have it. It's not a combination their deck is good at beating. Gonna go ahead and get in. I'm just gonna play another big dude. We're definitely in the driver's seat here. Happy to start racing. If they hold back this Blood Beetle in an attempt to block, we're just gonna cloak this bad boy up. Get in. Yeah. Triple block is pretty fine with me. This guy is, he's loving it. He's having a great time. I don't even know what to my back. But yeah, our draw matched up quite well. We were very lucky to get this Cupbearer. Getting the second one buffed as well was just pretty much unbeatable. I mean, I might be getting ahead of myself. I could easily still lose this game. If he deals with the Cupbearer, we'd really have nothing going on. With this Sanctuary Priest, which doesn't seem super effective. Okay, so they're going to extract. Oh. Just going to get in with the Cupbearer and pass. Wait for a turn. So they're going to hold back both these guys in an attempt to block, and then we're just going to... Oh, okay, we drew extract, so that's even better. Definitely going to bottom that. Gonna get in for 5. So there's no reason to give our Xenon Cupbearer flying here. I also don't think it's worth giving our Mentor flying, though it might have been. If we hadn't drawn the extract... So do we have a forced block? No. But I think we attack with all anyway. Yeah. So we're at 50, they're at 1. We have a Cobalt Acolyte. It's very likely that we're going to win this game. Alright, let's give a well played to our opponent there. So yeah, this draft has been going really well. We definitely got lucky to draw those running sigils. Having the second Cupbearer in play as well was quite good. Thankfully those sort of 1-drop into 2-drop Lethrai Ranger turns don't happen as frequently in set 2. It definitely skewed a lot of my drafting towards either being able to do that in my games or to stop that. Because just so many non games happen. If you just stumble on lands once or you don't have a 2 drop and they just play sort of Lethrai Ranger on 2 and get in, you're just in so much trouble. So hard to recover. Okay, so we've got all our colours. We're on the play. So we're only really punished by 1 drops. So Oni Ronin here would be a beating. Alright, Primal Sigil looks like we're in the clear. We also get to slam a 2 drop. This is just, yeah, everything's coming together great. Yep, so we're gonna... Okay. Do we care if they lightning strike this? I don't think we do. So here I'm just gonna play Ravenous Thornbeast, sacrifice nothing, attack for 1. Yeah. So this way we withhold information. They have no idea if we have a quick draw, if we have a levitate, if we have any of these spells that we might have. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing it. So we'll do that again. It's sort of like as soon as they see that you don't have priority and that you don't have a fast spell, they can work that into their game. But you can definitely switch that up, make it more difficult for them. We're just going to silence this. Seems great. Gain some more life. Get in. So at the moment, we're not actually really doing anything. Our clock is very, very slow. Sort of a lot of cards actually punish us pretty hard. I think we can just go ahead and buff this up so that we can get in. Feel pretty comfortable with that. So they really need a pump spell to punish us for that. So basically all I want to be doing is using my resources to chip in damage or to mess up my opponent's plan. So what are they trying to do? They're playing a 2 drop. Maybe they've got something else they want to play, but they're playing a second 2 drop so that they can try to double block my Cupbearer. So I want to punish that play. I also get to set up now. I can extract if they play something else that they're hoping to block with, maybe something a little more valuable. And I'm just chipping in some damage. At the moment, my flyers are at a 9 turn clock, which is pretty easy for them to disrupt. It's pretty unlikely that that'll go the distance. But setting it up in a way that it can is just, I think, pretty powerful. I don't think it's worth offering the trade of my Bold Adventurer for their Yeti when it's just stonewalling their whole team. Okay, it seems like our opponent's doesn't have a particularly threatening start. Trickster's Cloak, okay. I'm not too concerned about that. The snowball doesn't seem that threatening right now. I definitely have to be mindful of the snowball, because now double blocking with Bold Adventurer and Huru Stranger isn't as free as it was. You can trade the snowball, and also my Bold Adventurer blocking either of these can then be finished off by the snowball. So it definitely changes the board slightly, but I think I'm ultimately fine with that either way. Okay, Alchemical Blast, sure. It's a little interesting to me that they didn't Alchemical Blast and Snowball this down, but I guess they're hoping to find another use for the Snowball, which is frankly reasonable. Bam. I'm gonna play this 1/4. I'm just gonna silence this guy with the cloak. He's Feln, so he could always bring it back from the graveyard, so I think that's pretty reasonable. We've reduced from a 6-turn clock to a 4-turn clock by playing another 1/4 flyer. Our opponent doesn't know about this extract, which is going to give us more time. Okay. That's unfortunate. I think our opponent would be in a much better position if they just attacked with their 2/2s earlier and traded off their snowball for my 2/3. Um. Oh wow. Okay. All right, we're in a lot of trouble now. We're in a lot of trouble. I'm pretty surprised they must have drawn that this turn. Otherwise, I don't see them spirit draining. Okay, so it's gonna buff their guy, but we're pretty much forced to do it. Oh, when an enemy unit dies. Okay. All right, so we're definitely just gonna make this block. What do we have in our deck that can save us? So they're gonna gain a life. I guess feeding time gives us another turn. Okay. Extract unfortunately doesn't do it. Well played. And we'll concede. So yeah, it's unfortunate we flooded out a little bit there, but our opponent played reasonably well. Something that made a lot of sense why they weren't trading off their 2-2 and Snowball, because they wanted to wrath our board, which seems like a pretty good play. But yeah, hopefully, so we're at 4 wins, 1 loss. Hopefully we can grab another 3 wins. Get those diamond chests. The most important win, I think, is win number 5, because you move from a gold chest to a diamond chest, which is an extra 1,500 gold. We're definitely going to throw this back. I mean, this isn't fantastic, but it's not bad. Got some 2 mana plays. If we stumble on lands, we've got a reasonable curve if we don't. Okay, they play Stranger. Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty comfortable playing this Bold Adventurer. Blocking their 2-2. This just feels a tiny bit safer against random silence effects or something like that. Yeah, let's get in. We can play this Thorn Beast. We're not going to sacrifice anything. We have this Dark Return, so we could conceivably sacrifice this Bold Adventure and get it back, but I don't really think that's what we want to be doing. Okay, our opponents had quite a slow start, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna 5 them. If they start using this Explorer's Ring, we're just gonna run them over, I think. I'm just gonna play the 4/4. There's an argument to playing the Cupbearer, because then if we get a land, we can make a 2/2 straight away off this Invoker. But at the moment, it just seems like we're far enough ahead to not have to worry about that. Honestly, I'm pretty happy trading off for their 2/2 and getting in 6 damage. It's either that or just attacking with a 4/4. Now that it's silenced, bringing it back with Dark Return isn't quite as appealing. But I'm just going to play this Cupbearer. We just want a board where this Cupbearer can attack, which is exactly what we've got. So they don't have any favourable double blocks, so we're definitely going to attack with everything. The way this card works is it checks at the end of turn whether you've gained life, so it doesn't have to be in play when you're actually gaining life to make a creature. Okay, so our opponent makes some chump blocks. Honestly, what punishes us here? Could they have Harsh Rule in their deck? If they have Harsh Rule, we're in a lot of trouble. I think we just do this anyway, because we have Dark Return. And even if they do have Harsh Rule, if they miss on mana for another turn, we're in a pretty good position. Okay, they have not missed on mana. Okay, when I saw 5 sigils going away, I was a bit frightened, but thankfully we're all right. I'm just definitely gonna jam with everything. Perfectly willing to sacrifice some creatures to ensure a victory here. At this point, I think they just definitely would have harsh ruled last turn, so there's no reason to play around it now. Okay, well, that's game. Well played. So we got the very important win number 5. We've made it halfway to Master, it looks like, so that's good. Yeah, these games have been really fun. That 3/5 has been great with the cupbearers. Uh, Ageless Mentor as well. What a card! Still a great card. If you haven't had an opportunity to play with it yet, definitely pick it up in a draft. It also seems like there are a lot more silence effects floating around now. More ways to randomly punish attachments as well. So maybe those cards have gone down in value a little bit. I've also been much more impressed with Strangers. Just random fixing, especially if it's for both colours, has just been so much better than previously when I think two colour aggressive decks were a lot more viable and a lot more powerful, and you would sort of get punished for splashing. I think now that they've sort of rewarded life gain as well, that means it's harder for these aggressive decks to profit in every matchup. Yeah, this is a pretty reasonable hand. Nothing fantastic is going on here. We've just got a couple of two drops. We don't really want to fire off this feeding time early. It's important to, when you only have a couple of removal spells in your deck, make sure that you're removing the cards that you can't deal with any other way. So if there's a card that I could just deal with by double blocking, I would much rather do that than use feeding time. But then if they've got some sort of like crazy bomb, like a couple of games ago when our opponent played the... Okay, so this is Lightning Strike, I think. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, when our opponent played the Slime Spitter Slug, that's something we definitely need to feeding time, otherwise we lose. And we didn't draw feeding time, so we lost. So we're going to pass the turn. Okay, our opponent didn't have an opportunity to respond at end of turn, which means the card they had in hand is definitely a Lightning Strike. So we know they have a Lightning Strike, and we'll try to play around that for the rest of the game, if possible. I think we need to feeding time this, just because we have nothing else going on in our hand, and it completely blanks our board. It's also a very potent threat if they attach some weapons. Maybe we should have waited to give them an opportunity to do that. But this game is looking like it's going to be quite difficult. Alright, let's attack for 2. If they take the trade, that's great. Alright. Unfortunately, we don't have a follow-up 5-drop play. Okay, so they play a Soldier. And a 3/1 Flyer. Okay, I'm pretty comfortable trading off here, I think. Because I don't think we are going to be in a position to win this game if we are taking 6 a turn. Okay. Alright. So the 1/4 Silence unit would be an excellent draw here. Okay, or a Power, or a Time Sigil. I'll also take a Time Sigil, sure. Okay. So taking 7 this turn. I don't think it's profitable to block quite yet. To chump block here. Alright. Especially when we've got this creature, which is just going to stabilize. Basically our goal here is, so the 1/4 Silence is going to give us a lot of time. We're going to play that. We're going to be able to silence the Ice Sprite. So then our 2/1's going to be a Flyer again. Then the 1/4 is going to be able to block the 3/1 profitably. So we'll be able to start getting in the sky. I don't think we want to attack quite yet. We're definitely at a very... Oh no. At a very low life total. Alright. It's great. Shadow Sigil. Love it. So yeah, this game isn't looking fantastic right now. So if they get a Sigil, they actually have lethal next turn. I'm surprised they didn't attack with that. Okay, I love it. Nice. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, that's fair. Nice, nice. Okay. Alright, nice, nice. Alright, well played, opponent. Well played. Alright, so now we need to lock up 2 wins. And we have 1 loss to give, so hopefully we can get there. Yeah, so that's part of the cost of running a lot of power in your deck is that some games you flood out. But I think we've also been rewarded for having 18 power a few times when we've had 2 power in our starting hand, 3 drop, 4 drop, and then we've managed to draw running power, and it's been great for us. So it's easy to look at those sorts of games where you flood out and think, oh no, I should have run 17 power or 16 power instead. But in reality, you've got to look at both sides of the coin, and I think overall it was probably the right decision. All right. Oh, you stole my avatar. Yeah, go. It's disappointing. I love my avatar. So, this hand's close. I think we're going to throw it away, though. I don't want to have to extract any random 2-drop that they play, because I have no other ways to interact. We have 2 drops in our deck as well. We didn't have the ability to lightning strike with that mana. I think this hand's a bit better if we can hit 1 sigil, and we have 2 draws to do so. So if we hit any sigil at this point, we get to play Amber Acolyte. We get to fix our mana a little more. Okay, so that's great. So again, yeah, it's easy to just look at the games where you get flooded and think maybe I should have run less power, but in spots like this, having the extra chance to draw the power is very helpful. Okay, so what is our game plan here? I think we're just going to offer a trade. Pretty comfortable trading there if they want to do that. While it's not our most mana efficient play, I think just Ageless Mentor is just a slam dunk here. 4/6 lifelink, 6/7 make another unit unblockable. We can't cast this yet, but it's just going to be great. We also have the ability to play this, give it flying, block this profitably. So ultimately, I just think that's going to be where we're at. All right, definitely play the 4/6. Chuck it back. So it's interesting, if they attack here with a 3/3, we actually want to force a trick out of their hand. So I'd probably block with the 2/3 and the 2/1. Interesting. Okay, so we're just going to take that. They don't have a... Alright, so we're just going to make this fly. I think, again, it's not our most mana efficient play, but it stabilizes the board the best. If they have an answer for this 4/6, we're in trouble. But otherwise we end up gaining a bunch of life. Alright, yep, that's great. If they have another way to answer it now, I'm pretty okay with that. Okay, I think we just extract this 4/1 so we can start getting in with our big flyer. Do we put a sigil on top or the bottom? I guess we'll wait to see if we actually have a sigil first. Oh, we'll definitely top that. That card's great. That card's fantastic. I'm just getting more and more impressed with it. We don't have any other good attacks, but gaining an extra 4. Alright, we're at 30. We've got a huge threat in play. We've got ways to push through extra damage in hand. I think we're in a great position right now, and our opponent's definitely on the back foot. Okay, so they get to give a unit flying, which isn't particularly effective. We have creatures that they can kill with the snowball, but I'm honestly not too threatened by that. I think we might even just silence it. I don't even want to give them the option to block. I think 4 damage to the dome is just much more valuable right now while we have this Minotaur Light Hoof in hand. Okay. Get in for another 4. I think I just want a 5/5. I just want big dudes that this can give unblockable to if he somehow deals with my 4/6. Alright. So there we go. So it's unfortunate, but it was probably going to happen at some point. So, do we have favourable attacks? I do not think we do. Definitely don't. So I'm just going to build a big board. The more things you can attack with in a turn on a board like this, the more damage you can push through. So what cards are we looking for here? Like, I'll take a trick out of your hand. Pretty comfortable with that. If they want to burn a removal spell on this, that's fine. Yeah, cool. Oh, that was a very good draw. I'm definitely going to get in for one, because that could be the difference this game. I'll play Bone Picker. Start buffing that bad boy each turn. Alright, so I've got an Acolyte as well. So Dark Return lets us start getting in a bunch of damage. At this point, we only need to find 5 points before we have lethal. If they want to trade 2 for 1, that's great for us. 2 damage for 1 damage, that is. Because we're on 36, and we have a way to kill them. Okay, they play Big Flyer. Interesting that they elected to play that power. Okay, we'll play Death Touch Flyer. Which is probably going to deter them from attacking. I'm going to attack here for 1. Cool. So the reason I did that is now we have lethal next turn. I don't think any Echo cards can stop our 9/6. So I think we should be able to win the game. Oh, okay. Unstable form on our Bonelands picker gives them a lot more time. Okay, that's great. That's great for us. All right, well played. All right, I guess it's rude to do it now. Yeah, that's interesting. So that would have reset our creature's stats. Okay, well played. And given us a random 4-drop, so that actually would have been quite problematic for us there. The extract off the top definitely helped out though, because we could have hit their face for 3 and then hopefully chipped in another 1 point with our Death Toucher, and then we would have been able to finish them off with a 5/5. Alright, so we're up to the final boss. Final showdown. I'm hoping this works out for us. Love getting 7 wins. Love getting those premium cards out of the platinum chests. Yeah, I haven't really played much constructed with this set, but I'm interested in jumping into that. Ooh, this hand seems real bad. The more I look at it, the worse it actually gets. So I'm gonna throw that away. Yeah, like, this isn't the best hand, but it's definitely... maybe it's worse, I don't know. Alright, Stranger, that's great. Gives us the mana we need. Look at this bling. 4 colors, that's great. Find the way. Okay. Game on. So now we're going to be able to chip in some damage. Honestly, that was a little loose by me. I probably should have played this Acolyte first, found a Sigil, because now they know we don't have any fast spells, which might influence how they choose to block going forward. Definitely something to consider. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I think it's important that we get some damage in, especially because they seem to be a life gain deck. Maybe I'll regret that. Maybe that's not worth it, because now if they just play a 2/2, I can't attack with this anymore. So it was a bit of a waste. Alright, yeah, 4-4 sort of also punishes me there. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna play the Invoker. I'm really hoping this card doesn't get silenced again. The games where it's gone off, it's just been fantastic. Definitely, I think this might be the best uncommon payoff for this strategy. Let's pass it on back. The end of your turn. Okay, so if I block on their turn, I don't get a 3-3, even though I'll gain 3 life. Alright, so they're playing the second copy of Find the Way. What else would you like to do, sir? Alright. Yeah, sigils. Alright, so if this can survive for a turn, we're going to get 2 6/6s, which I'd be quite happy with, honestly. So I'm really hoping, if this card gets silenced or stopped in some way this turn, I'm going to be quite frustrated. Well, not frustrated, but disappointed. That's a better word. Alright, we're going to pass. We're going to get 2 6/6s. What a turn. What a time to be alive. We're going off. Okay, units can't fly this turn. Draw a card. Oh, that art's sweet. I've not seen that card before. That's awesome. I love it. Sandstorm. Love it. It's excellent. Okay, I'm really hoping we draw an extract this turn, because this 3-3 is a real issue. Come on, dude. I thought we were bros. I mean, I guess that's fine. I can just bring it back, but still. Just gonna go ahead and attack with both. I really want them to trade off this Xenon Guardian, because it's gonna be a real issue for me. Alright, I guess it was always unlikely that would happen. But cleaning up the board a little bit seems pretty reasonable. Getting six points of damage in, I won't say no to that either. Alright, so let's play this 4-6, play this, pass the turn back. We can't actually block the Guardian this turn without losing our Invoker if he ultimates it, which he's doing. Is he going to attack though? That's the question. No. Okay, so that's good for us. So play Sigil Depleted. Might do that. Getting a lifelink guy doesn't really help us that much. I guess getting mana doesn't really help us that much either. We're still not in a great position on this board. Our opponent's definitely in the driver's seat here, so they're going to silence our 4-6 for sure. Alright, that's fine. That's interesting. I wonder how many dinosaurs they actually have. Oh, Arachnodon's a dinosaur. That's cool. Okay. Cool. Alright, so they have more cards in. So we have more cards in our library than they do. I'm hoping we don't have to go on the mill you out plan, but we could easily be getting to that point. I was really hoping to draw an extract to be able to kill this, because this card's going to become a real threat soon. Okay. Great. Alright, what's the best thing to silence here? Do you care about life gain? How much do we care about death touch? I don't think we care that much. I'm just going to silence this 3-3, because as soon as it becomes a 4-4, it's like a real threatening card. But it's manageable as a 3-3. Lethrai Ranger, that's fine. I'm just going to Lightning Strike this. I'm just so done with that one too. Maybe that's a waste, but maybe it's like too soon to go on the milieu plan when we both have 24 cards in library, but I'm going on the milieu plan. Okay. Oh. Not the most useful draw in the deck. Okay, so they're going to gain a lot of life. Okay, alright. That was a pretty good draw by them. No. No, I'm not going to feeding time that. I think I'm just going to get to 20 before I do that. Give them time to maybe buff it up or play something more threatening. Sure. Give me time to draw a flying silence unit. Okay. So, no. Alright, you die now. That's probably daggers. Could be something else. I don't know, my last opponent had like 5 copies of daggers. Alright, give me flower. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Cool, cool. I think our opponent still doesn't have great attacks. They're getting better. We might be forced to play this Ageless Mentor soon. Extract. Alright, that's a good draw. I think Lethrai Ranger is actually more frightening. Yeah, definitely top. So we're going to silence. Curious. I'm not quite sure. See if they play anything else. Alright, they did not. Alright, we're going to play this Mentor. Let's silence. It's okay, so it's either the Spider or Lethrai Ranger or Sanctuary Priest. So are we... I don't know if we're actually going to be able to kill them with damage this game. So I think we don't kill the Priest. We've got so many like trashy dudes that I don't mind trading. I think you have a way to give it unblockable or something. Let's just get rid of the Spider, I think. I think that's fine. Honestly, maybe we could win through damage now with a 3/6 flyer. Maybe I should have considered that a little longer. Okay. Okay, interesting. Cool. And they're not in a position where they're actually attacking yet. Okay. So now I definitely think we should hold back. So that's kind of good for us that they walk that. Because they definitely have to win through damage, otherwise they're going to lose this game. And we just have to survive. 9 more turns. So we're virtually on 9 life. So the more they attack with, the better their attacks get. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Is that all you're attacking with? Okay. I'm a little bit perplexed by my opponent's plays here, but we don't really want to trade that. But we have to block with either the flyer or the 4/6. You know what? I think this flyer might actually be less useful. Actually, we just lose if they do play a flyer. Let's play the 4/6 then. I think in that spot, they probably should have put Killer on the 7/5 Overwhelm. And then they could have just, you know, killed the 2/2, dealt 5 to me. Which is very hard for me to beat. Pretty comfortable making this trade. 2-3, 3-3. 2-2. Yeah, so I don't really care that much about a quick shot. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, see, they just bounce one of my dudes, and then they only kill one of my creatures. And if they had a quick shot as well, yeah, if they have a quick shot in their deck, I think it's much, much better to put Overwhelm on their 7/5, because then they can buff that up to 11, fight something down, deal me 9, and then the ring is actually going to kill me before they mill out. So I think that's a bit of a misstep by our opponent. We're not in the clear, but I definitely think that had the potential to kill us. I also think it's quite useful to just attack with multiple creatures. If you're worried about me double blocking, I think that's really your plan. That should be how you plan to win the game. Okay, Wasp is a pretty good draw. We're just going to keep buffing this guy. This card's been amazing. Oh, okay, they have one as well. Okay, so an out for them is, yeah, if they have the unblockable guy, we're in a lot of trouble. I'm just going to play this. I don't think I want to sacrifice anything. So we're definitely not in the clear. Our opponent still has cards that will allow them to win. But I think the cards that they've already spent could have allowed them to win. Okay, so they're buffing a couple of times. And they probably drew a spell. Nice. That is a good draw. They have a fast spell for 1. Refresh? Is that 1? I'm actually not even sure what that card is. I'm gonna take, yeah, let's think this through. I'm not actually sure what cost 1 that they could have here. I'll excavate. Okay, what are they excavating? That's interesting. Okay. That's powerful. That throws off all my math, so probably hit my 1-2. Yeah. It's annoying. But ultimately I'm still up enough cards. So I guess we should extract this 3-3. Definitely top that. Maybe we gave up a little too early on killing them with damage. I forgot how insane this Shadowlands Bone Picker is. I will very happily take this trade. Buff this another 2 times. Honestly, we could give this flying and try to get in. Double ring. so we're still getting some life. Double ring us. Play this. Gain a life. Whoops. Oh, that's a misclick that might cost us. I'll take it. So honestly, we probably could have just won through damage the way this worked out, but in the end, it's okay. And we get our 7 wins. We're also well on the way to Master, so hopefully we can get that soon. So let's open up these chests. Yeah, nice. I love the new borders. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully you'll check out my future videos as well.